Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. According to the new standards reached by the Ukrainian military, today's actions against Russia were a failure. And what do I mean by that? Well, the Russians conducted a massive missile attack today, and the Ukrainians were unable to shoot everything down. So their 100% accuracy and efficiency did not live up to the standards they reached yesterday or the day before, when they shot down out of 13 drones, all of them. So, you know, that's now, because these are the new expectations, that's a failure. Well, let's see how many missiles did the Russians launch and how many the Ukrainians shot down, and what kind of equipment did the Russians use, which is, aircraft or and the locations. Very interesting what kind of missiles they used and what kind of targets they were able to destroy. So this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda. It is from today, December 16, 2022. This is the title. Ukraine's forces down 60 out of 76 missiles launched by Russia. So 60 out of 76 missiles. So that would be like a what? 80%, not even 75%, I would say. I'm just making between 75 and 80%, I would say, accuracy. You slackers, what's going on here? Make up for that somehow. On December 16th, Russians launched 76 missiles at Ukraine, including 72 cruise missiles. I thought they don't have them anymore. Well, we're going to discuss that as well. Ukraine's air defense forces downed 60 of them. Source: Valery Zaluzhny, the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, on Telegram. Now, this guy, this general, the commander-in-chief, he's in hot water, because it seems like some weasels in Zelensky's office, president's office, they want this guy gone. Now, they want this guy gone because he's underperforming? No. Is it because it's a little mutiny in the military? Possibly. They try to isolate him from the popularity contest that occurs in Ukraine? Yes. All of the above? Very possible. We'll find out. We'll find out what's going on, why these guys want this guy out. These guys being the president's office, the general, the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces. You can say, well, he's underperforming. Well, you give me shit to fight with. How do you think is going to be the performance? You know what I mean? We have a saying in Romania: you can't build a castle out of a pile of shit. You know, you can't have a stallion, out of a little turn a mosquito into a stallion. You can't do that. The same here. What do you want this guy to do? Abracadabra, here we are. But yeah, that's what the mentality is, I guess. And I'm quoting: according to preliminary reports, the enemy launched 76 missiles at Ukraine's critical infrastructure targets. Among them, 72 are cruise missiles, Kh-101 Calibre, Kh-22, and 4 guided air-launched missiles, from Kh-59/Kh-31P, from the water area of the Caspian and Black Seas. Yesterday I made a video where from an article that said that the Russians moved in the Black Sea a ship capable of launching up to 8 Calibre missiles, and they have 9 in the Mediterranean Sea, with the total volume of 72, together with 8 from the Black Sea. So it seems like they used these ones from the Black Sea, the ones that entered yesterday. Details: according to the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, 60 Russian missiles were shot down by the anti-aircraft missile forces of Ukrainian Air Forces and the air defense of the ground forces. And I'm quoting: the missile terror and the enemy's daring attempts to break through Kiev's anti-aircraft defenses will not force us to lay down our arms. Zaluzhny emphasized. It's interesting that we hear from Zaluzhny now all of a sudden. What's going on here? because I think in the past, I don't know, 9-10 months, I've been covering obviously this little war here, or big war, how we want to call it. I haven't heard, I didn't see articles having Zaluzny as saying this. Sometimes, about 5 times. 5 times in 11 months, 10 months. I think it's very low. But now all of a sudden, after yesterday, we find out that it's infighting there, and it is. You know, there's no smoke without fire. So there being Ukraine. Now we find out that Zaluzny shows up, and they use his name and all that. Before it was, well, the Minister of Defense, the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense statement said this, or you have other weasels, Ikhnat coming up and saying, Reznikov saying, or other guys. Now we have this guy. I'm going to keep an eye on this to see if it's going to be a coincidence or is going to be something else. Now, the Air Force said that a specific feature of this attack was that the KH-101/KH-555 cruise missiles were launched not only from above the Caspian Sea and Saratov Oblast, but also over the Engels Air Base that hosts the two 95MS strategic bombers which carry the missiles. That Engels is the one that was shot by supposedly Ukrainian drones, the one 500 kilometers within the territory of Russia, and we're still to find who did that. And the Russians said it was the Ukrainians. The Ukrainians said no, it was not us. You know, those so-called drones with jet-propelled engines. So they were launched from this one. So apart from that, the invader launched sea-based cruise missiles from the Admiral Makarov cruiser, the flagship of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Okay, Makarov. Several KH-22 cruise missiles were launched from Tupelov 22M3, the long-range bombers over the Sea of Azov, 4 KH-59 and KH-31P. The air-launched missiles were fired from Russian tactical aviation, presumably Sukhoi 35 fighter jets. So they shot with everything, from land, from the sea, from the air. That's not good news for the Ukrainians, obviously. But wait, we got more. During the large-scale attack on Il-76A-50U, a Russian AWACS jet hovered in the skies over Belarus. A MiG-31K interceptor capable of carrying a Kinzhal hypersonic missile patrolled the skies too. During the attack, the occupiers also opened fire from S-300 surface-to-air missile systems. About 27 launches were observed. Wow! So this is the summary of the Russians' attack from today in Ukraine. So if you remember, the Ukrainians and the British intelligence services claimed, they assessed, that Russia has 3 to 4 massive capabilities of conducting massive air attacks like this one. Now this is the third one. All right, the last one was on the 6th, I think. Now this is the last one was that. So since they said this is the third one that occurred, so they have one more strike, according to these guys. And after that, the Russians should not have any more missiles to conduct massive attacks. Now, my question is, if you have this kind of information provided by the intelligence services, which are supposed to know shit when they say something, well, what happens when that's not going to happen? Because I bet against the information coming from the intelligence services of at least 2 countries, Ukraine and Great Britain. The Americans said this, but not about the 3 or several before. What happens then? Well, I bet against, because I know I will win. I know that the Russians will conduct at least 1, at least 2, at least 3, at least 4 more massive attacks. They will conduct more. I'm 99% certain. Not because I have a excuse me, Yes. How many more missiles you got? Oh, okay. Oh, how many you produce? Okay. And how many do you usually use for an attack? About 70? Okay. All right. Thanks. So it's not like that someone tells me, hey, we got this many more, we produce this many, and we use this many. Okay, it's not like that. But if you are at least 86 IQ, if you have that, okay, you memorize things. You see by patterns. You memorize, okay, they conducted a missile attack. How many? Between 70 and 100, no more than 100. Usually they are between 70 and 80. All right, let's put an average. Let's be nice and say put 90. 90, okay? And how often? All right, and then you say, okay, they did this. And these guys said, oh, they're gone, they're done. Well, okay, let's check. Okay, they used 3 times. Okay, they got one more time according to the weasels. So, and then I'm waiting for one more massive missile attack coming from Russia. I guarantee you there'll be more. It was another weasel that realized, I think Danilov was the Ukrainians, who realized that, hey, if we give them 3 or 4, one guy like Emil is going to take note and going to say, wait a minute, you said 3 to 4. And he changed it from 3 to 4 to several more. Several more could be 20 more, could be 70 more, could be 3 more. And that's why when I'm going to come back next time and say, okay, this is the last one they could possibly have, they're going to say, nah, but it's not like that, Emil. We said several. Yeah, you said several one time, and you said 3 to 4 50 times. So which one is it? So yeah, it's just like, and what should we do with these intelligence services? After all, they are based on intelligence, they are based on knowledge, right? When they say something, they know about it, right? Because they have intelligence and knowledge and information. Well, you know, it's a war of words, propaganda. Besides the ones that are affected the most, they are killed over there. But hey, at least we're not tards, and we could at least figure out that these guys are BSing. So 76 were shot, right? Were launched. This guy destroyed what, 60? Lousy. Yeah, 76 launched, and they downed 60. Slackers. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.